Okay, I'll do another update on my Lifeguard Aquatics 7-gallon. So, I had a disaster happen to me 2 or 3 days ago. Came home and all my fish were dead, and the reason was the thermostat showed 103 degrees. The heater that came with the tank, because I got the deluxe kit, apparently malfunctioned and has no overheat protection, and literally brought my water to 103 degrees, killed everything. I immediately cleaned out as many of the dead fish as I could, because a lot of them were kind of entangled in the plants, and the plants are now so firmly rooted in the substrate that I really didn't want to just rip apart all the plants. You can see my plant growth is really kind of insane. And again, there's no CO2 being added, and the plants are just like out of control. I actually just did a water change on the tank to clean it, but I didn't trim the plants. I'll probably do that next weekend. I do a water change once a week, every Sunday. I take about 70% of the water out. Anybody who tells you that you can't do a water change that scope is wrong. I've done it for probably 30 years. I do it all the time. There's no problem. Just make sure the new water is close to the same temperature, and add your chemicals to get rid of any ammonia, chlorine, chloramine, all that stuff, and you're good to go. Anyway, I immediately restocked the tank with almost all the same fish. And I actually probably overstocked it a little, but again, I don't really have any problems with this tank, probably because of all the plant life and the filtration. The fish overall are extremely healthy. Also, in the other video, I was trying to talk about a light fix. People mention a light is falling in. The light does not fall in. Okay, the light, they don't have mounted correctly. I'm going to turn this off for a moment so you get a better view. Let me turn my light on. Okay, so people are hanging the light with the legs out like this. Okay, if you do that, it's going to fall off. The light is supposed to go between, see, there we go. The light leg's supposed to go between the glass and the lid. Okay? And then you can even use the little tabs that hold the top on to kind of fine tune it and keep it exactly in place, because the plug sometimes kind of the pull of the plug might get in the way a little. Okay? But if you put it here like this light is not going anywhere. Okay, so I think I'd move the camera, somebody had mentioned. So that's basically the trick, is as long as you're using the glass top, put the feet in between, okay? And this light cannot fall down. Now, when I have to feed the fish, a lot of times what I do is I just stick my hand in here like this, and I lift the top, and I sprinkle the food in. And then I just place it right back down. So yeah, I wish there was a little bit of an easier way to, feed the fish, but that's really not that big a deal. Then I just slide this and fine tune the positioning of the light. Sometimes I move the light more towards the back of the tank. Sometimes I move it more towards the front of the tank. That's my little light trick. I'll show you again the moonlights, which are awesome. So basically, I know there's a little bit of a glare here. Basically what I do is I have the blue lights are basically always on while the main light is on, because it throws the color off when there's no blue. The tank, as you can see, kind of starts looking a little more yellowy green. And again, I just did a water change 10 minutes ago, so this water is nice, clean, fresh water, but it's missing the blue spectrum. So now you see it's kind of more of a normal color. I had the light on for 8 hours a day. Both lights, 8 hours a day. Then I shut off the main light. And then I had the blue lights on probably until I go to sleep, 10, 11 o'clock at night, and then I shut the blue lights off. But as you can see, the plant growth is amazing. The new fish are all happy. They're looking good. I've had them for, I guess, about three days now, and everybody's good and everybody's healthy. And I'm gonna have to probably trim these plants shortly, because it's really getting out of control. I'm kind of shocked at the plant growth, considering that I'm not putting any CO2 in this tank. As I said before, the only thing I am adding is Flourish Excel. I add a little less than a cap full every other day. I'm using Prime whenever I do a water whenever I do water change for detoxifying ammonia, nitrite, and nitrates. And sorry, I'm using Stable, and this I use whenever I do a water change. You basically go up to the first ring inside the cap. I dump that into the back where the filtration stuff is. This is basically the bacteria. Kind of jump starts the process for the nitrifying bacteria. Other than that, food-wise, again, sorry for my phone being bounced around. I use Tetramin Plus. I also am feeding them bloodworms. So I feed the fish twice a day, once in the morning at around 7 in the morning, 7:30 in the morning, and I feed them again at about 4. And then basically, once they're done eating it, then I turn the light out. This is only during their dinner meal. And then every couple days, I'll treat them with a TubeFX worm cube stuck to the front glass. And also, although my catfish and whatnot are doing good, I do throw an algae wafer in here. I break it in half. I actually throw a half an algae wafer in. Again, that's only like every other day. So I don't want to overfeed the tank. Anyway, I hope that that helps you guys. As you can see, I'll kind of zoom in here, do a close-up of what's going on. You can see that there is just mega plant growth going on here. Sorry for the bubbles on the glass. And fish are really overall doing great. They kind of weave in and out of the plant growth, and that's it. So yeah, this tank has actually been kicking. Other than, I recommend if you bought it with the deluxe kit, get rid of their heater. Their heater killed all of my fish. Instead, I went to Petco. I forgot the brand that Petco sells, and I bought a mini heater that is good for up to 20 gallons. And I changed the heater, which I used to have in this compartment, and now it's actually in this compartment right by the filter. And this heater it was about $30. I know you can't see it, it's inside here. It's only about, I would say it's about this that long, and it has overheat protection. It's automatically set at 78 degrees. You don't have to, you don't adjust it. It's not adjustable. So at least I feel like now my fish will not die. The other change that I made to the tank was I did notice by the end of the week there was a film on top, because I initially had, I don't know if you can see it, right here along the back wall, there is a drain plug. You can't really see it. They kind of get a view there. A drain plug. Tank comes with a drain plug, and also comes with a vented plug. I had the vented plug in, and so what happens is basically all the water for the filtration was going through the vented plug, which worked fine, except that it was not getting water off of the top. So I since plugged the plug this with the plug that comes with the tank, and so now the water is coming through. Let's see if I can show you here. You see those vents? So the water is now coming through those vents, which now skims the top of the water. So now I don't have any problem with any film on the top of the tank by the end of the week. The only issue it created is now the water change is not as easy, because if I put the siphon down the back, you know, basically it's just emptying out the filtration water, because no water can get in once it drops down to this level. So now I have to put the siphon in the back to empty the back. Then I put the siphon in right over here, and I put a net over it so I don't suck any fish up. So it's just a little extra step to empty the tank to make sure I don't suck any of my fish up. But again, other than that, this tank is really beyond my expectations. I wish they had sold like the same exact tank in a larger one. I probably would get a 20 gallon or something like that if they had it, but I'm not going to break it down, because I actually really like it. And overall, it's really low maintenance. You see all the fish swimming all around. It's really, everybody comes over and is like, wow, tank looks great. Anyway, talk to you guys soon. Thanks. Let me know what you think.